What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening, and thank you for taking the time to join us. This evening we have a very exciting episode, an episode that usually I bust out the helmet for, but let's see. We'll see how spicy we get. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, let's welcome who was first this evening. Now we all know who was really first. Kurt was chilling in the cut, watching, waiting, and someone jumped in, bam, and dang old Matt was like, "What up?" And then there we go. Dang old Matt said, "What up?" And 2 seconds later, Kurt was like, "Congratulations on being first." So Kurt, we all know that you're always here first. But what happens, guys, is uh, woo, excuse me. What happens is I publish the live stream at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and then I go live right around 10 p.m. Now, sometimes running a little bit late, right? Sometimes there's some hangups and stuff, and also sometimes I just chat with the guest, right? So come on, give me a break. But anyway, dang old Matt, congratulations on being first. You, sir, are due at least one high five. Let me not spill my drink on the computer. Congratulations. And let's say what's up to all the channel members. Now, of course, Kurt24, we know, is a channel member. We got Flying Rich, another channel member. We got Kurt 24, Flying Rich. Hey, BV Luminous, what's up, brother? Another channel member. Kurt 24, Flying Rich, BV Luminous. Who else we got up in here? BV Lumi. I'm so glad you changed your name back to BV Luminous, by the way, because it was starting to get a little difficult to keep track. 717 Rider, what's up, brother? Another channel member. Let's see who else we got. Let's see. Z. What's up, brother? Another channel member. Good to see you, man. Thank you for taking the time to come and hang out with your boys. Montana, what's up? Good to see you, man. Man, some of the OGs are just like, it just warms my heart to see you here. Like another channel member, Joe Morris, brother. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Let's see who else we got. Kurt 24. Joe Morris, yo. Hey, Taco Syndicate. I'm telling you, Taco Syndicate, what you need to do is create a culinary business, right? Kind of like those like companies that sell you and like send you, they like mail you food, pre-prepped, like packaged food and stuff. What you should do is you should create a company and call it Taco Syndicate, but name it like Taco Send a Kit, and you can send taco kits out, like pre-made taco kits to people, right? So it's a play on words. It's Taco Syndicate, but you send a kit of tacos. Anyway, I'm just giving you ideas to, that's $1 million idea. I'm just saying. So if you want to take advantage, jump on it. Someone else will. Tech Money, what's up, brother? Another channel member. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Let's see, Taco Tech, Kurt 24, in Unbroken Topo Chico. Flying Rich, thank you for the $2 super chat. So I did just the other day, Monday actually, walk out to my car and got in my car, and I had to open up my door real quick, and like a full, I don't know what these are, 24 ounce, 32 ounce, they're huge glass Topo Chicos. It fell and just, it blew up and just smashed everywhere. It's crazy. So I had to spend all this time cleaning up all these shards of glass. Like every single shard of glass that broke looked like the shards of glass that can be used in weapons in movies and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, let's go through. Thank you again, Flying Rich. I appreciate you. Boom Thumb McBangy Hand. Man, that's a tough one to say. Gort, what's up, brother? Another channel member. Boom Thumb, of course, is a channel member. Let's see. Kurt, Gord, Tech Money, Boom Thumb McBangy. Who else we got up in here? Joe Morris. Hey, Mike McClune, my man. What's up, brother? Let's see. And of course, we got our honorable mentions. We got Miss Vanessa Kitty in the building. Thank you for taking the time to come kick it. We got Warsaw Patriot. We got Christy Turtle. Good to see you. Sounds like the red light district. Let's see. Vanessa Kitty. John Doe. What's up, John Doe? P38 Wilberto. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Let's see. Dangle Matt, of course, Dangle Matt was first. We know that. Scott Depugnificent, what's up, brother? Live Life, what's up? Good to see you. I want to ride. Good to see you, bro. Low Crow Trek there, America. Man, that's a long one. I'm gonna call you Low Crow. Low Crow, you Low Crow, fool. Appreciate you joining us. Jen Champ, what's up? He said, "Oh snap, deck after DLD is back. We love your deck, DLD. Thank you. I've been back for over a week though. I just want to say that actually today is a week back. We got Tim Hoppa, who's dealing with some challenging situations with the gay TF. So wish you the best, broski. Tuck Firance, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Hey, Mr. Knight Jr. Good to see you. Slide bite. Ow, that's the worst, right? Slide bite. Man, I got a story about somebody getting brutal slide bite. Brutal. Let's see who else we got. Want to make sure I didn't miss nobody. Oh, we got Toy Town Inc. Toy Town, where you been at, bro? We got Flying Rich Fur Toy Town Inc. Man, great to see you. And I think that's it. Let's go back. Sorry, it's hard to keep track as I scroll through everything. Damien Christ, what's up, brother? And another one, Senor Bob. Gracias por tu tiempo, mi amigo. That means thank you for your time, friend. And P38 Wilberto, you got to listen to his message here. He says, smash the like. Thank you. You can also like the smash, whichever one comes first. ADXR920, what up? Good to see you. Or I don't see. Here he is, another channel member, ADXR920. Appreciate you coming and kicking it with us. All right. So, I just saw this. Okay. So Flying Rich being super funny. Okay. Flying Rich is a funny guy tonight. He says, happy 7-Eleven day. Okay. So there was a little situation that happened. All right. It was a year ago today. Damn, that was a year ago today. Sorry to my guests. Give me 1 second. I promise I'll come get you in 1 second. So a year ago today, you guys know I like to. You know what? I'm gonna bring my guest on. I'm gonna share this story, and then we'll get his true, genuine reaction, all based on Flying Rich's $2 super chat here. So I appreciate that. Safety Haba Firearms. Jump in the smash pit. I like that. Free Slurpees. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Timbers, what up, man? Thanks for joining us. All right, now let's go ahead and get started. So if you guys took the time to read the title, what you would have seen is that this evening is a special evening, not only because it's DLD After Dark, it's also a special evening because in the evening it gets dark. And when it's dark, with dark, you like to have a superpower, right? To see in the dark. Well, there's only a couple ways you can see in the dark, and we're going to talk about that this evening with your boy, Specter Solutions, whom you might know as Specter Solutions. What up?
What is up, man? Thanks for having me.
Dude, hell yeah. Oh, now I got to rock my helmet.
Yeah, where's the helmet?
Yeah, man, I'm slacking. Hang on. I got to see what I do is I switch my headphones around to make it look like I got like high speed ear pro on, but I don't. I put it backwards like that.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Those are the Comtac 6s.
Yes. See, you know. And then I could be like Bravo 6 going dark. And then I'll find something to put, here, like I'll mount like a flashlight here. No. Dude, this guy on another chat, Dude Knowledge, he came on with toilet paper rolls on his Wilcox mount.
No way. That's
yeah,
impressive.
it was so awesome.
Val, Bald and Curious, he kind of did the same thing. He threw me for a loop, so I can only imagine your reaction.
Dude, I at first I couldn't tell. I was like, BV Luminous says, helmet now. I honestly couldn't even tell. Like when I saw it, I kind of did a double take, like, what is that? Am I getting a reflection? Is that? And then I saw that they were taped on there and they were just crooked. First off, how did he get two empty toilet paper rolls that quickly? Right? Like, did he go
big concern?
Yeah, shed all the toilet paper off of it and then tape, or does he just have that much shit paper trash laying around that he just had it,
Or did he pull it and make like a little toilet paper cone?
You know what? That could be likely. We'll have to get him
Uh,
on. He may come in tonight in chat, and we'll be able to ask him.
Needs to be investigated.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So Spectre Solutions, welcome. Take a
Thank you.
moment if you could, and just kind of introduce yourself. Let everyone know what you do and who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Well, I'm Devin. I'm the owner and runner of Specter Solutions. So I'll just start from the beginning. Last November, I just got the idea. I was like, I want to facilitate an area where my buddies and a couple other guys that they know can shoot and train LARP, if you will,
Oh
in their
yeah.
full kit. And a lot of ranges and a lot of places do not allow that, especially after dark. There's a lot of reasons. We can get into it if you want later. But I found a private range. One of my buddies was very, very welcoming, but only for a small amount of people. I was like, how
Hmm.
can I make this bigger? So I found another range that will allow a bunch of people, 20 to 30, maybe even more eventually, to shoot
Nice.
at night. And to facilitate the prices and expenses, I was like, I need to start selling something or providing something to make a little bit of cash.
Hmm.
Because targets, chem lights, and everything else is expensive. I mean, inflation's a real thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was like, well, I like merch. I'm a big fan of patches, stickers, you name it. So I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
I'll just come up with some cool designs. So I had my tattoo artist draw up some like a sticker sheet of stuff, and I was like, I'll
Nice.
just sell these for like $5 to $10 each. Next thing you know, it sells out, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But wait, people want more. So then it turned into what is Spectre Solutions now. So technically, I'm a brand, but I'm more than a brand. And the merch and the items, such as stickers,
Nice. Yeah, I
art.
like the ghost on the skateboard that and it's dope how much you put like the skateboarding shit into your Instagram and shit too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I used to skateboard. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
If you tell me to hit a kickflip, I'll end up breaking a hip.
Is it from having bad knees from being like such a high speed operator?
Yeah, definitely with Legos and Nerf guns.
Hell yes. That's how we
But
do it.
and I yeah, started selling all that and started selling out, and I was like, man, I really need to find like an inner, like a happy medium, I guess.
Mhm.
So I just do like pre-orders to facilitate a little bit of the expenses for the night shoots, and the night shoots have got even bigger, which is amazing. They sell out, as in fill up, pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's at Crawford County here in Ohio.
Didn't you say you when you first your first shoot was like what, 8 people, 10 people, something like that?
It was 8 signed up, but 6 showed up. So it
Okay,
was,
so
but those guys were pretty cool. They showed up and had fun. It was awesome.
hell yeah. And
And then
then
go
now
ahead.
you're at 30. This next shoot has like almost 30 people.
The one after that, the first like official sanctioned, I guess you can call it,
Mhm.
at Crawford was like 18 people showed up, and this next one has 30 signed up.
Damn, that's incredible, dude, in a
Yeah,
really short period of time, right?
yeah. The first one, sanctioned one, was in I think May, no June, was in June.
Dang. And you would think with night shoots that like, it probably costs a good 500 to $1,000 to get into something like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Usually, there is a couple places that offer it a couple times a year, and it's around between $500 to $700.
And you wanted to make this as reasonable and affordable as possible. Do you want to talk about pricing at all? Kind of let people know.
Yeah, that's fine. It's $65. You pay when you show up. It's not a prepay. There's nothing holding you to. You sign up. It's like an honor system. You just sign up. If you're going to say you're going to be there, you show up. If not, that's fine. Things happen. Everyone's human. Family's important. But when you show up, it's $65, and that's it. You bring your own ammo, and everything else is supplied.
Dude, that's okay. So when you first said that to me, I was like, what is it, $65 to like hold my spot or like what? I could not believe that was the cost. That was crazy. And Crump, I know you're out there. I didn't forget about your super chat. I didn't hit it yet. So be patient with me and I promise I'll get you both. I promise. But dude, that's crazy affordable. Like everybody listening in chat, hey, Constitutional Carpenter, good to see you, man. Everyone in chat right now. So instead of paying several hundred to $1,000 or more, right? You never know. To pay sub $100 to get into a night shoot is crazy. To actually get in your full kit and put in some real training, get time behind your gun, get to whether you're doing nighttime like white light shooting or nods or thermal or whatever your thing is, like that's incredible. I just think that's cool as shit that you do that, man.
Thank you. And it's been in my mind for a couple of years. I went to one previous year and a half ago. I'm not going to name any names, but it was like 500 after taxes, and I had to
Mm,
have a hotel and stuff. It was like $600, and
yeah.
it was only a weekend, and I was like, there's got to be a way I can do this cheaper and just about the same atmosphere and intensity, but have a safe and fun environment. There's got to be a way,
Yeah.
and I've finally figured it out, made the right connections, and it's ran in a USPSA tactical style move and shoot. It's a little different though, as in not every match is two gun or outlaw or whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
Like the last one was two gun. This next one Saturday is just pistol only. So it
Oh,
kind of
nice.
lets a lot of people that don't have a full kitted out rifle or PCC, whatever you want to call them.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't have a full with light laser, but a lot of people do have a red dot nowadays, a light, and some
Yeah.
even have a laser on their pistol, which is pretty interesting. Hollison came out with that laser that you showed me. That thing's pretty sweet. I
Yeah.
didn't think that thing would be that cool, but that's pretty solid.
Have you
So
run the Viz laser yet? Like, have you fired the pistol with it yet?
I haven't got it yet. I'm gonna get it next month.
So I just took it out with the laser so my Beretta M9A3 is like my go-to gun now that I run for like my sidearm. And I took it out for the first time. I got the Holosun PID dual from Integrity Firearms, and I know you and I know this, but for everyone listening, it's 1,000 lumens of white light, and it's a green visible laser, and then you have an IR laser as well for when you're running nods or whatever. And I ran it, so I joined this range called XCal. It's like a super Gucci, 100,000 square foot range, and I paid for a private lane, so I'm the only person in this private enclosed lane. And I put the target back all the way down to 25 yards where I sighted the laser into,
Nice.
and I just from the like thumb pectoral index turned on the laser and was just like dung 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 with the target all the way down. I brought it back and almost every single shot was in the orange ring at 25
No
yards.
shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I was pretty blown away, and I'll be putting up a video on that for Instagram here shortly. Shout out to AR Takedown Tool for actually sending me ammo to use. So they're pretty
Ooh,
awesome. So
nice.
yeah, man. But yeah, dude, I love what you're doing. When I heard what you were doing, first I just saw like, let me put my nods up real quick. Sorry. There you go.
Yeah, I can only see a little bit of you.
Yeah, right. When I first saw like, the gear and just the vibe of your whole page, I was like, oh man, this shit's dope. I didn't know what you were doing. And that once I found it out, I was like, dude, this is something that we need to talk about. And for you guys asking questions in chat, I promise we'll get to them. But there was a couple things I wanted to hit before we move on because I'll forget if we don't. Um,
Let's
so
do it.
Flying Rich was talking about
Yeah,
last
7-Eleven day. Yeah, let's get into that.
yes. So basically, I got this thing where like, I try to help other people, and if I see somebody that needs food or whatever, a homeless person asking for food, I'll get them food. Usually I won't just like throw them money, but I try to be kind. I'll randomly pay for other people's stuff, and just kind of try to like share kindness and whatnot, just so people don't completely lose all of their faith for humanity in the world.
Exactly. Paying it forward.
Yep, yep. And I walked into a 7-Eleven last year, and it was crazy busy in there, and I was in line, and there was a mom and a daughter behind me, And when I walked up in line, I paid for my stuff, and I was like, "Hey, let me pay for their Slurpees." And he was like, no, no, it's okay, it's okay. And I was like, well, no, I want to pay for it. And he was like, no, 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 don't worry. It's like, dude, what the fuck? It's like, let me just pay for the shit. Like, what are you talking? Like, I'm volunteering to pay. He's like, no. And I thought he was just trying to. First, I thought it was like, all right, it must be a barrier in communication or breakdown in communication,
Okay.
language barrier or something. And then he was like, no, it's free. It's free. And I was like, what? Okay, now it's free? Like, no, dude. I said, I am not going to leave this store until you let me pay for their Slurpees. He was like, okay, okay. He put in $2 and took $2 from me, and I left. And as I got in my car and I looked at the door, they just walked out. And usually you see something like, you see people look up like, oh my God, like who paid or whatever, right? My stupid ass. It was 7-Eleven. It was free Slurpee day. And I forced that dude to to take my money. He probably thought I was
No
a
way.
psychopath, dude.
No way.
Yeah, so now
He's like, oh,
everybody makes fun of me for that.
he's like, no, not another one. This happened last week. Just
Yeah,
just
right?
pay, just pay.
It's like 7-Eleven. What are the fucking chances that I would
What are
have
the
been
odds?
yeah, at 7-Eleven, on 7-Eleven? For all I know, it was 7:11 PM at the same time. But yeah, it was just it was crazy. Um, so I felt super, super dumb about that. John Crump Live with a $2 super chat. Thank you. He says, I need nods. Yes, you do. And I need your guest on my show. So I'll make sure to connect you guys
Definitely. Thank
as
you.
well. Yeah, hell yeah,
Honored.
man. Yeah, so what made you want to get into this? I know you
So,
kind of started to get into it, but
as in the night shoots and stuff.
yeah,
So, just like going back into, there's not a lot of places that you can quote unquote LARP. As in,
yeah,
when I like to do a lot of movement training, a lot of transitioning, a lot of conscious training. I don't like, I mean, stationary training's good. You can work on your mechanics, precision,
mhm,
get the basics down. But I like adding a lot more into it, and a lot of ranges do not allow that,
yeah,
let alone shooting at night. So when you start putting on your plate carrier, a chest rig, lights, lasers, and then a helmet, older gentlemen that don't understand the stuff, I guess FUDs, we'll just say
yeah, yeah, you could say
it, they get, I don't know, they just get intimidated or scared, or there's like a misconnection.
them dirty
And
civilians don't need to have all that.
exactly, like,
Yeah,
were you retired soft? No, no. I want to train. I want to do this. I want to do that. And they're just not for it. So I was like, there is definitely a way to provide an area that is safe, fun, and also a way to test your kit. Because there's, even me, I'll show up and I'll add something to a chest rig or put my mags in a different area. And
yeah,
it looks cool, but when until you start using it and doing a little bit of movement, you're like, man, that's not a good spot for that. Or
yeah,
that's poking me when I'm sitting down, when I'm transitioning or doing something. So it's a good way to test your
yeah.
your weapons and your kit.
Dude, very good point. When I first set up my battle belt, I had so a lot of people give me shit, especially like the guys at the Tactical Turkeys and some other folks. I had 4 pistol uh mag pouches and then 1 rifle mag pouch on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, I got my Safari Land. It's a multicam. I'm a traditional multicam guy. I know it's, not everyone likes that, but I got the thigh rig. I mean, it's not like full on thigh rig, but it's lower. It
Is it
wraps
a
around my
drop?
thigh. It's a drop leg. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
if it works, man.
yeah. I love it. I love it. It's literally right at my fingertips, and I can run a level 3 holster like super fast, like sub 1 second draw from the holster, draw to first shot, and then I got another tourniquet to the right behind the holster. I have a little K-bar TDI, little pecker cutter, and then I got my med pack on the back. And when I was sitting down and like moving and shit, that fourth mag carrier was just jabbing into me, and I was like, man, this ain't gonna work. So I had to kind of move. You know how it is when you have everything lined up. If you move one thing, you got to move everything on
Exactly.
that side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's the HSGI tacos and shit. So I'm like unscrewing shit and like popping it and moving it, and I switched. I had two double pouches side by side. I took the double pouch off, chucked it, and then put a single next to it and moved it back one slot. So it's
Solid.
much more comfortable. And um Flying Rich, Skylar wants to see the pillow. All right, give me a second. Um so yeah, but until you're actually running it and like really shooting with it and moving and shooting and moving and getting down, laying prone, sitting down, getting up, and all, actually using the shit out of your shit. And so many people like don't even like re-indexing in the tacos is a bitch. I'm about to get new mag carriers just for that purpose. But yeah,
Yes.
using your kit is important.
And it's all about preference and what you train on. If you can only afford X, Y, and Z, then just use that, train on that, and when you can afford other stuff, get that. Just
Yeah.
because so and so has a Safari Land mid ride doesn't mean you have to have that. You can get your a low ride or a
Yeah.
thigh holster as long as you can run that proficiently and you're comfortable with it. Who
Hmm.
cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
At the
Very
end of the
true.
day, who cares? And in case in point with testing your stuff, you have to test it.
Yeah. Yeah, very good point. Yeah, I mean, even in like a static range, like you're saying, there's some benefit to it, but man, like if for anybody out there in chat, if you've ever had the freedom of mobility during live fire, I mean, a lot of people say like, don't move faster than you can shoot, right? Well, you can only begin to shoot and move quickly if you train like that, like usually with assistance on a regular basis and do so safely while following all the firearm safety rules,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of people have you had on occasion some people show up that weren't following all the core rules of firearm safety?
We've had one little, I wouldn't even call it a mishap. I think it was a miscommunication. So I put two barrels, and I instruct everyone in like the briefing and then in my squad. And then I tell the other ROs, like, these barrels right here represent the line they don't cross, but the ROs can, because it's like,
Mhm.
I think it's 5 to 6 feet away from either the start box or the start stick where they'll
Mhm.
start the stage. So there was a couple people, I guess, that broke that threshold, and one of the board members saw it.
Mm.
They weren't doing anything malicious, or I don't even think they meant to, because it is at dark.
Yeah.
But hey, that's it. Luckily, nothing crazy has happened. Hopefully, nothing crazy ever happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Safety is a big priority.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to public ranges and just seen like the most absurd, like blatant safety, just ignorance of safety.
If you want to talk about public ranges, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting flagged, indoor ranges are the worst because I feel trapped,
Yeah.
especially if you get put in like the corner and the
Yeah.
doors this way, like
Yeah.
four bays that way, and you're just like, oh boy.
Dude, I learned that one of the ranges that I almost exclusively did like all of my training in the recent years through there. I've also done some stuff at MD Arsenal and some other places, but a lot of people go there to commit suicide. And I had no idea that like a lot of
Really?
people, yeah, and they
Oh
don't really
my.
report it, but like I don't know, it's just something that I never really thought about, right? But a lot of people can't get a gun, don't wanna buy a gun, can't whatever. Let's say they can't buy a gun for whatever reason. They just get ID'd when they go rent a gun at the range, right?
True.
And then they sign a piece of paper saying like, I pinky promise I won't hurt anyone," and
Yeah.
then there's been a bunch of occasions and, Crump and some other folks out here that, know what I'm talking about, like, these dudes will literally, like, after it happens and, after a couple hours goes by and everything is, cleared out of the area, they will literally just wrap a sheet or a tarp around the one lane and then keep business running as usual. I'm like, oh man.
Wow.
There's a ton of range
Wow.
suicide videos out there. Dang.
That's sad.
Yeah,
I
it's crazy.
I bet they. I hate to like go into that, but I bet they do. They probably fire a couple shots to make sure the gun is in working condition.
Yeah.
So the RO probably just thinks, oh, they're just here to try out a gun, and probably don't pay attention to him that much after they
Yep.
figure out like he's shooting, and
Hmm.
then the worst happens.
Yeah. I mean, there was another. So I used to know a dude at the shooting range, and he would always pull me. Like when I would walk in there, he'd be like, "Yo, Dark, come here. Let me show you something." And he would show me footage of like some crazy shit. There was one situation where, luckily, it wasn't anything that grim. I've seen one that was grim, but there was a dude that had a he bought like, I don't know, Wilson Combat 1911 or something like that, first handgun, right? He bought a whole bunch of ammo, and I think it was a Black Hawk Serpa holster, and
Okay.
then he immediately got a trigger job and a whole bunch of stuff done. Like, and the guy never even fired it, right? And this is a really high end 1911. Well, anyway, he was in there. He bought everything from them, and some time goes by. He comes in and he actually goes to shoot it. And in the video, he's drawing from the holster with the bench in the booth, which, you can pull it off, but it's not necessarily the safest thing. And he goes to reholster his gun in his Black Hawk Serpa holster with his finger in the trigger guard, and the safety was off.
Mm.
So as soon as he puts it in his holster, boom, it actually went in his thigh area, and then it went around his leg bone all the way down and exited through the sole of his foot. 45
Wow.
230 grain ball.
Ah.
Brutal. You just see this like energy come off the ground. It's like, it's like this thwack on the ground. It's
Right. He won't ever do that
crazy.
again.
Yeah, for real. Hey, Corn Pop, Bobby Millimeter, what up? Good to see you guys.
I was doing some training a month ago. And we were at this range, um, and the ROs there were really hitting on safety longer than usual. And I went over to one of them that was a 30-year state trooper. He was retired, and I'm
Like,
like,
did something happen?
yeah, I was like, all right, I understand like safety briefing, but you guys hit safety for like an hour and a half. I was like,
Wow.
what happened? Or can you tell me? He's like, let's just say a guy had an ND, it ricocheted and hit a student, and he almost died. He had a collapsed lung. We had to do a
Wow.
sucking chest wound care, and I was like, all right, that's cool. I'm gonna be in
Jeez.
this group. I grabbed my Meg bag and I had it a little bit closer to me that day.
Dude,
I was like, oh boy.
that's crazy. I mean, you see people going into ranges, right? And I get it. Like, everybody needs to start somewhere, but I'm seeing like people take, let's say their girlfriend or wife or whoever shooting, and they let them shoot, and then after they fire, they turn around with the gun like, "Oh my god, I hit it." And like
Yes.
everyone's like, "Oh shit,"
Hitting the
like
deck, moving,
ducking.
drawing. It's
Yeah, right? Like, I don't know what
like,
to do. For a while, this one range I used to go to, I literally started wearing armor, like concealed rifle plates, just because I was like, dude, I feel like I'm more likely to get hit here than anywhere else, you know?
that bad? Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It's the same place that people were going and like offering themselves, and it's like an excellent range that is like one of the top 10 training areas on the East Coast for simunition. Like
Really?
it's a big place. It's they got I'll put it this way. They have a simunition shoot house. They have a simunition like a fake Starbucks. They have a simunition
That's cool.
uh shop, like a grocery store. They have a simunition like bar. They have all sorts of stuff. They do all sorts of law enforcement and military training, but they unfortunately closed that down to civilians. Hey, Chris from the 740. Dang. $20
Wow.
super chat, bro.
Holy poop.
Thank you.
Shout out to
Awesome to
Chris.
see Specter Solutions on here tonight. Hell yeah. I saw him on. I didn't even make like I didn't even put two and two together until I saw you talk. I was like, holy shit, that's Specter Solutions. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be on his chat a lot, and I enjoy it. Those guys are amazing.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome, man. We came on as the Freedom Crew University kind of crew. That was my first like introduction to his channel. And if you guys haven't, of course, make sure you go to Instagram and check out Spectre Solutions page. Give him a follow, give him a like bomb. So like the last like 10 pictures that he's done, some comments and stuff. But also make sure you go to Chris from the 740. He's got a great YouTube channel too. So make sure you check him out as well. So, just out of curiosity, prior to you kind of starting the night shoots, um, did you uh, did you do a lot of competition shooting yourself, or kind of what got you started in the competition world?
Yeah, so since Chris is up, might as well talk about that because that's what
Yeah.
initially started it. Oh boy, it's been like 5, 6 years maybe ago. I met Chris at like a wedding, and he asked if I'm in the guns. I was like, yeah. He's like, well, what's your favorite gun right now? And I was like, well, I just got an MP5. I was like, that's pretty
Hmm.
cool. He goes, you ever shooting like a match? I was like, no, I've always wanted to.
Hmm.
And he introduced me to like a falling steel type of match. It
Hmm.
was Dogwood Valley, which is not around anymore, unfortunately.
Mm.
And after that, I was hooked, and now I do USPSA carry optics and trying to go for A class, but I'll probably be B class Mafia for life.
B
Every time,
class mafia.
every time I go those, oh man, what are those things called? There's a certain stage I always mess up.
Are you talking
Uh,
about
oh
the Texas Star or
no, there's like a certain one. I'll remember it eventually, but it's deja vu, and oh man, there's another one that always gets me. But they're classification stages, so when
okay?
you shoot them, it can either heighten your classification
Mm-hmm.
or lower it. But you can't go below, so I can't go below B, but I can go lower in percentage. So deja vu, and then there's another one. I always mess up and tank it, and I just stay the same.
Yeah. Hold on.
Uh oh.
Bro, when people say I heard a bump in the night, I don't know if it's because this mic like intensifies everything. Okay, I think I'm good.
You ever seen those TikToks or YouTubes where it's like Alexa intruder, and then it like red light, and then Vietnam
No,
music starts playing?
no, I definitely need to set some shit like that up though. That shit would
Do
be awesome.
it sets the mood.
Corn Pop made a an excellent point. Oh, and so G23 says DLD After Dark Spectre Solutions also has a great YouTube page as well. Very true. I forgot to mention that.
Fortunately, I've been slacking on that. You have to forgive me.
It's all good, man. It's either we're slacking on uploading or YouTube is striking us down every chance that they get. So one or the
That
other, you know.
our community is getting hit hard on every platform,
I know,
unfortunately.
man.
Shadow
It's
bans,
crazy.
strikes. But
Yep.
yeah, USPSA is fun. Beyond the politics, I enjoy it. That's how I meet all these cool people. That's how I make all these
Nice.
connections. I've met a lot of really good dudes over the years shooting USPSA major matches, area matches. I'm not anywhere good to be placing in an area match or even a level 2, but it's nice
Yeah.
to go to it and experience that high level of stages and see these high tier guys of how they diagnose these stages and their
Mm.
little movements, how they can just move this way a little bit and take more targets than I would if I just have one and then jump to the next. So it's pretty
Yeah,
cool to
yeah.
see and just like pick people's brains.
Yeah, I've seen that. Just in watching like when so let's say like actually my guy who signed my sack, um, Jerry McCulloch, um,
No way. Nice.
yeah, yeah, it was hilarious. I walked up to him while he was doing an interview, and I was like, "Jerry, will you sign my sack?" And like everyone busted out laughing, and he he pinched his nose and signed it with a Sharpie. It was hilarious. But seeing him go through and do a dry run on a shoot is like it's crazy. I mean, the smallest little changes here and there, if it shaves, a 16th of a second off at each plate, or you know what I mean? Like it
Mhm.
all adds up. It all, and
Yes.
the smallest little shifts and changes in in I guess tactics and what would you call it? Approach maybe.
Yes.
Corn Pop says, I'd rather sweat my balls off at an outdoor range, at a national park, or on private property than deal with all the normie morons at an indoor range. Absolutely,
Is there a way
100%.
we can like pin that?
Yeah, I know, right? Just the whole time we'll leave it up.
Because that right there hits the nail on the head, man.
100%, man. All the crazy
Thanks,
shit
Kurt.
that all the crazy shit we've seen. Oh, what did I miss? Did I miss Kurt? Dark, when you hear your ears ringing, they threw a flashbang. Yeah. Hopefully, Dark is about to get raided. Bro, trust me, they know me. They're gonna come at like 4:30. Actually, I don't want to let me not talk about my schedule.
Fun fact
Just let me
about
see.
night vision: the Gen 3 tubes cannot be blinded by flashbangs
This is very true. This is very
because
true.
auto gating is a thing.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. So that one of the next questions I was going to get to was talking about your setup. But before we do that, um explain what that is, because you always see in the movies, right, that oh, if I turn on this super bright light or start a fire, everyone's going to be like, ah, which obviously, I mean, it could be partially true, but let them know what you're referring to.
So auto gating is basically when the tubes absorb light. These are intensifier tubes in night vision devices. So each generation has a different type of way it intensifies. Um, 1, 2s are very simple. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an engineer by any means. So I can't really go into and diagnose everything.
He is
But
actually a confirmed scientist. Don't let him lie to you.
Dr. Specter. But
Yeah.
when it does it, it just lets all the light in, just all of it. And you'll have what's called manual gain. So you'll have, I don't have it on here, but I'll example. So let's say instead of this button, it's a switch. You'll adjust the gain, and it can be minimal or high, or some have auto as well. Or Gen 3 tubes mostly have auto gain. So when
Mhm.
a flashlight, like a flicker of light, or if you look at a bright light, your tubes
Yeah.
it'll look like it's shrinking, but it's intensify technology inside that's adjusting for you, so you don't have to worry about it. It's just one less thing you have to focus on when you're engaging, hiking, or any type of activity that you do with night vision.
How quick is the response time? Like if someone threw a flashbang, for an example, like you think you could adjust from the flash, at least from the flash, quickly enough, or is there like
Yeah,
a bit of a delay?
yeah. It's within like half second or a second. I did a demonstration in one of my classes
Mm,
with the guys that were there, and nothing really happens. You see a bright light, and that's it, and it goes back to normal. But it doesn't blind you. It's just like a bright light. So,
wow.
in theory, if you threw it in a room, if you're in like a 6x6 room or something, it's gonna be like a half second or a second where it's gonna be light, but it's gonna focus real quick. But by the time it focuses for you, it's gonna be gone. So what's gonna happen? You're just gonna be concussed.
Yeah. Which still sucks.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah.
So, let's talk about your setup, but let's also talk about like what was your introductory to night vision? Did you just what did you go with out of the gate when you first came into night vision?
So I was lucky enough. I experienced a PVS 14 green Foss from somebody else, and I never actually owned it. I just had a lot of time, just experience with it and looking through it, and shooting with it a little bit, just like teasers. And
Mhm.
I saved up, and I ended up getting these as my first ones, which is all out. You can get a PVS 14 and just be fine. You can get
Mhm.
green Foss and just be fine. And personally, if I had to choose, I would just choose a PVS 14, run it on my non dominant eye over
Mhm.
binos. So that way I have my natural eye, or I would run on my dominant eye and have my non-dominant eye. So I would have that natural
Okay.
vision. So if I did go inside, so I have duals. They're Nocturne Industry katanas.
Okay.
The glass is Carson glass, PVS 14 style. So with that, it's more common. So for some reason, I have a fracture, a crack, or some type of I guess a chip. These are regularly available. I can just get replacement pretty quick. And
Nice.
then on front, focusing caps. Now, if you do know a little bit about night vision, you're going to want focusing caps. The reason that is you have diopters, and you want, without these caps, to focus these on either infinite focus. So you're going to stare at the sky, focus those where your stars are clear. So
Mm-hmm.
when that happens, just like if you're nearsighted or farsighted, I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
good people's eyes are out there. If you have something up close, it's blurry, but you can see far away pretty well. That's what that is, infinite focus.
Okay.
But when you have these on, these irises and these focusing caps, you can put them at a certain point, just that little bit of an opening. You can have front, like close vision, mid vision, and furthest. Pretty clear. It's insane.
Nice. And do you have I think Corn Pop was saying you have clip-on thermal?
No. Oh, good point. Okay, so that is a camera.
Okay.
So that is a Grec X night vision camera. It's just a 3D printed clip on. I'll take it off.
Nice.
It is pretty
You hear
cool.
that, y'all? 3D printed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, 3D printed.
Let me keep that up for a second. I'm gonna pull you up here on solo. There we go. Do you know what kind of machine that was printed on?
I do not. So the company is actually based out of Paris,
Is
and
it Noise Fighters?
no, no.
Okay.
It's Grec Night Vision out of Paris, I believe, or Italy. He might have moved. But these guys are better. It's the best out there. They have, oh yeah, I wish I had an Ducati. That would be some like Predator vision, man. Those things are pretty cool. But
Yeah. I
it
heard you
records.
can't look through it
Go ahead.
too long though. I heard you
Yeah,
shouldn't look through it too long. It could totally fuck you up, give you a migraine, fuck up your depth perception and all that.
and it will burn a square into your tube.
Ooh,
Yeah, you can
yikes.
still like black box it. I don't know if you know what that is.
Mm-mm.
So if you do get like a speck or a burned image into your tube, you can put it in a black box. So if I had my device and there was
Yeah.
like a tube, I just put it in here, put it on for 24 hours. It should clear it out as much as it can by itself. But
Really?
yeah, but it's not like it doesn't work every time, but most of the time it does.
Huh.
Um,
That's interesting. So let's say for an example, when you and I were talking and I was asking you, like is it worth it to get the aviation grade? Partly because a lot of times the aviation grade, like the L3 Harris PVS 14s, the ones that they're building, their aviation grade, regardless of specs, they usually have, and by that I mean specifications, because I'm also going to use the word specs in a different way in a second. Their tubes actually have less specs or spots, right? So like if I were to get one of their, you know, regular White Foss, L3 Harris built PVS 14 that wasn't aviation grade, they're military rejects, and it's likely that that's going to have, spots or specs in it. But with the aviation grade, it's usually less likely, from what I understand.
yeah, that is exactly right. So aviation grade is just a step up. That's actually what I have. I have Elbit 2200 FOM aviation grade PV White Foss tubes, and I had the choice of the step below, and it had a lot
Hmm.
more spots in it, but they were in like zone 3 and zone 2, and they were up in the left. In zone 2, it was pretty obvious. So I was like, well, let me see the other ones, and the other ones were pretty clean. They had
Mm.
one little spot, but it was zone 4 and barely in the tube. You only knew it because they pointed it out type of spec.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, like when you're running it with like not just a blank background, when you're running it with like the woods or a night shoot or
Yes.
looking at trees and the stars and shit, you're not really gonna pick it up as easily.
Not at all. Yeah, unless you're looking at a white wall or a stationary white fixture, you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to see it. When you're in the environment, it disappears. You don't even remember it.
Now, okay, so with that, with something like those specs in your tube, could you black box it and would that change that at all, or is that just for like when your tube burns in an image?
So the specs are actually from factory. They're not really. It's not really burnt into it. It's
Okay.
just there. It's like dust and particles. So when it's burnt into it, I guess a good example would be um, like if you just accidentally put like a mark on a paper,
Mhm.
it's just gonna be there.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know if that
Yeah.
changes it.
Unfortunately, I wish it did.
That would
I
be
black
cool
box
shit.
them
That
every day.
Yeah, that's why I was like, well shit. Like I'll just say no to the $1,000+
Yeah.
aviation grade and then just buy them in black box that shit. By the way, shout out to Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, who just recently purchased some Goonbeam um let's call it some Goonbeam lightsabers using my
Ooh.
affiliate link that's in the description. It's actually in almost every description of every video I've ever done. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, thank you for supporting Goonbeam, which is an incredible flashlight company who also has some IR options as well, but also for supporting the channel as well. And yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
And Goonbeam is putting it to the leading competitors, man.
Yeah.
His Candela is putting people to shame in the leading industry.
Yeah, it's
When
pretty
when
nuts.
I looked at their specs, I was like, "What? No way! For that price, can't beat it."
Yep. Yeah, for like white light classes and or shoots and things like that that you're doing. I mean, for the price and for the thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Fluffy Bunny. Um you just can't go wrong. And I actually today was talking to Jonah from Integrity Firearms, and I was talking about the little loop. I forgot what people call it. The
Like tack
little
clip or something.
Yeah, little dingleberry thing. I don't know what it's called.
Dingleberry. That's
Yeah,
what it is. Dingleberry.
the tactical ring or whatever the fuck it's called. And he was like, "No, Dark, it's actually made so you can like loop it in and get a complete firing grip on your handgun while having a non-weapon mounted light, and you can actually engage it with your middle finger." I was like, "Oh my god, that's so freaking smart." And
Light
then
bulb.
if you need to, you just switch over, go with your dominant hand or whatever. I'm like, "Dude, it's so smart." And you can also use this to beat the dog shit out of somebody if you needed to, because, you know,
That's gonna hurt.
yep, it is ouchy. The best lighting possible. No, totally agree.
But
Uh,
when it comes to night vision, oh, go ahead. Go ahead. It's like predator vision.
oh no, that's all good. It's all, I was just kind of reading. So I think he was saying, what did they call it? Jerry C for
Yeah, Jerry C.
cameos.
Yeah.
Is that the Ducati or Elati or what was it called?
That's another version of a thermal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's thermal's top tier. Night vision, you can hide from it. You really can. It's pretty. For example, if I'm outside and I'm looking at you with my night vision goggles, and you stand in the window, the refraction and reflection of that window, it's going to be kind of hard to see you, and
Mm,
really hard depending on what tubes, what specs, the lighting. There a lot go into it. But and if you're like in a lot of vegetation, there's a bush that's pretty thick, and you're hiding behind it. I'm not going to be able to see you that well. I might be able to
yeah.
see a little bit of you, but if you have thermal, good luck. There's ways to hide, thermal blanket. There's other ways you can cover yourself in mud, cold dirt, but it's harder. You're still going to be able to see your footprints, any type of breath. There's a lot of stuff. Thermal's
Yeah.
just top tier, man.
It's true, man. It's true, especially like have you seen like some of the camera footage like through like the super Gucci like law enforcement military grade like FLIR cameras?
Yes, yeah, they have
Dude,
drones now for it.
it's crazy. They so like a lot of hey, Mr. Big Kid, what's up, brother? I was just talking about the other day that I want to have Mr. Big Kid on the show. So everybody in chat, if you remind Mr. Big Kid that I would love to have him on the show, maybe that'll give him a little encouragement, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Better do it.
Um, can't stick around, figured I would stop by and say, hey, yo, appreciate you, man. Hell yeah, and Mr. Big Kid, go check out Specter Solutions because this guy's freaking awesome. You guys
I'll
should do
definitely.
a
All
collab
right.
or something. Hell yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, so a lot of these like police helicopters, you know, when they're using like their spotlights and their thermal cams and all that, they have FLIR cams that like, dude, they can see everything in this gradient light that's like blue, green, yellow, orange, red. You cannot, well, not you cannot. It's very difficult to truly hide from that shit.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But when it comes to buying a device, whether it be night vision or thermal, in my opinion, you kind of shouldn't go budget per se. I'd get the best that your money can buy, because
Yeah.
you get what you get what you buy with that. There's some stuff you can go and be cheap, like Pop Tarts. I'm not going off brand. I'm buying the name brand Pop Tarts. You
Yeah.
always get gypped without that icing. It's the same concept. If you go off brand or Amazon, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
night vision device, you're gonna suffer.
Yeah. What do you think about, I know you and I spoke a little bit about this offline, but what do you think about like digital for the purpose of, you know, um the type of tactical application we're talking about?
So right now, no. Stationary digital is pretty cool. Psionics has cameras. They have what's called an opsin, which is like a monocle.
Mhm.
Um, the rendering and just when you start panning, it doesn't load. There's too much lag. There's too much time, and you and I both know, and the people in the chat definitely probably know, seconds matter,
Yeah.
and that's just how night vision is now with digital. Analog's still superior when it comes to night vision. Eventually, I think digital night vision will probably be superior, or they'll integrate thermal and night vision, be like a fusion, which the
Yeah.
Army supposedly has, but I've never seen it yet or pictures of it or anything. But apparently they have it.
Dude, that would be nuts to be able to put on one unit, right? And see, you know, have some type of fusion, you know, night vision slash thermal or like some type of, maybe some type of integration where it's not as like debilitating over time or doesn't burn your tubes or something that's kind of like digital, I think would be different. Mr. Bacon, yes, I will be going to IV88 this year in October. So yeah, make sure if you're gonna be there, we'll rock out and shoot some machine guns together. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it or how they would do it. I do know there's probably some type of sensor or a filter in between the tubes, I guess, and some type of engineering gurus happening. And what it projects would kind of be like a Cadi, or which I don't know if you ever seen through one, but it's like an outline. Like anything that has some type of temperature, a heat
Yeah.
temperature, it would just outline it like a thermal.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. That's some next level shit. And Dude Knowledge, by the way, is the guy that I was telling you likely has 2 toilet paper rolls on his, Wilcox mount right now. He's actually a super duper high speed operator. Dude Knowledge, you know this, but he's got some dope kit. I'm just talking shit. But what about, so when you're going out and doing these night shoots, what kit are you rocking? Like, what are your go-to guns and, you know?
So for me, I do a lot of training with or running stages with a 12 and a half and 16 inch. Either have a mall C1 Plus or a PEC
Mhm.
15. Unfortunately, it's not full powered civilian for the PEC 15.
Yeah.
And then Surefire, but here soon, Goon Beam is going to be taking over both of my rifles.
Hell yeah.
Suppressors on everything. They're just, I mean, if you don't have I shouldn't say if you don't have a suppressor, but if you do have a suppressor, that's like the whole point at night shooting is to be kind of like quiet and covert.
A little
Um,
stealthy, right?
yeah, just a little bit. So suppressors on everything.
Yeah.
I mostly run a chest rig unless I'm doing inside work. So if I'm doing like CQB or doing any type of room dynamic stuff, I'll run a
Mhm.
plate carrier. Shit happens. People shoot people all the time on accident.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I'd rather have a bruise or a broken rib than be dead or bleeding.
Yeah. Have a
So, but
hole
when I'm
blown
just
through you.
out like on a flat range or something, I'll just run like a chest rig. Indexing and extracting mags from this area is the same on my chest rig and on my plate carrier. So the
Nice.
training, there's no like lag on that. Pistols is either my shadow systems if I really want to like push for time, but if not, I just run a 19X
What kind of shadow systems?
DR920. But really, it's just the frame now. The triggers at Timney and it's all polished, different springs.
Is it
The
the
mirror,
DR920P with the compensator on it?
no, nope, just the normal one.
The standard one? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I will say I was blown away when I went to the range and I was shooting the M9A3, and there were a couple guys next to me. They were newer shooters, and when I'm shooting the Beretta, like the difference, like, and I told my viewers before, so guys, don't think I'm trying to give myself too much of a pat on the back here, okay? But
No, do it.
yeah, I mean, look, I when I first started shooting Glocks, like if I hit a silhouette at 7 yards, I'd be like, yes, you know. But it's just because like the grip angle in my hands and they just didn't match, but I was just so goddamn stubborn that I would not give up. I just kept shooting Glocks and kept shooting them, kept shooting them. Then, you start getting into different frames and then you kind of start to shoot some things better. And, then it started to become a little bit more skilled. Like the more rounds you get through your equipment, the better you become no matter what, right? You can kind of, work around some things, disadvantages. Well, typically I would rock my 19X on my kit and I could get, a pretty solid group at like 7 yards. And then when I go, so 7 yards is super close. I get it, right? But typically I'm just kind of running off of, 7 to 25 yards and I just kind of, work in between that. And when I put a target out at 7 yards, my Glock at, you know, uh sub 2-second draws from inside the waistband or sub 1 second draw from an OWB holster, I'm still hitting within a couple inch group, right? And then I took the Beretta M9A3 out, and instead of putting out a silhouette, I started putting out the little quarter size stickers, and I'm just freaking nailing them. Like they just disappear after the first, 3, 4, 5 shots. And the guys next to me were like, "Dude, is that a Beretta?" I was like, "Yeah, it's the Beretta M9A3." They were like, "Your accuracy is like nuts." I was like, "Bro, that this has been like 20 years in the making, right?" Like they said those were their first guns, right? They just got their first guns, and one of them, the dude got a Shadow Systems um, DR920P. I think it is the
Okay.
one. It's like a 34 length. Really, it's a 17 with a compensator, and then the
Yeah.
front sight is on the compensator, so it doesn't really move as much. Super flat shooting. It's dope. And he was like, "Well, dude, if you want, you can shoot it." And I had like the groups for my 19X, and I had the groups for my Beretta, and then I shot his DR920P, and I swear to God, I put like I think it was like 6 rounds into like this like about 1 inch group, and it was
Hell yeah.
just so smooth. Like all the rounds were touching. I was like, fuck, now I gotta, because if I go get one of those,
Yep.
then I'm gonna, which I would love to go back to Glock mags just so I could share within my little, you know, uh, unit, my group of friends unit. Um, but like then I got to change my holster, right? Then I got to change. You start looking at all the shit you got to change out. It's like, man, I'm just gonna keep the Beretta. But I was blown away at how accurate that shit was,
It is insane just by how the little ergonomics of a gun can make or break your fundamentals or your shot.
for sure.
Um, I got small hands, so I weirdly I prefer bigger guns. I don't know why. I have
That's
bigger guns.
interesting.
I shoot better. So the lowest I go, unfortunately, is a 43, and that's just for like summer carry. But after that, it's
Hmm.
a 19x and up, full size.
Really? So you don't have anything in between, like a 43X or 48 or anything else?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19X is a great gun. It's still very carryable.
Yeah.
you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that they incorporated that it has the 17 lower, so you get the more rounds, but a 19 frame.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
And you do, so the grip angle of a 17 is slightly different. I mean, it is the slightest bit of difference. And you also have a longer grip, larger, longer grip. And of course, with that comes the 17 or 19 round mags. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like when I got my 43X with 21 rounds in it versus my 19X with 19 plus one in it, so 20, almost the same capacity. I mean, I don't feel like I'm carrying a much larger gun. They're similar, and well, obviously the 43X is smaller, right? But I don't feel like I'm carrying like a huge hand cannon with the 19X, but it's probably because I carry a big ass magazine in the 43X, you know?
Yeah, the extendo. What do you get? Like a
Yeah.
+5, or is it the
Y-
shield mags?
Yeah, so it's the Shield S15, which I
Yeah.
love them. Some people are like, "Oh, mine failed," and that I have run mine constantly. I've had no issues with them at all, thank God. And that's the S15 mag, so it's 15 plus one. And then I put a Shield Arms S15 plus five on it, so it's
Nice.
20 plus one. And then to the left of it, I got a backup mag, which is just a regular 15 round, the Shield Arms 15 rounder.
Solid. And it's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, it's super comfortable. Well, a part of the reason that it's comfortable is because the holsters that I have, I know we can't show guns, but I can show my holster. So many people make fun of me because they like assume that I'm gonna whip out some like T-Rex arms, like Kydex rig this big or something. I carry like the most boomer Bruce Willis of holsters ever. It is this leather.
Yo, that is crazy.
It's
Okay.
it's
I
nuts.
respect.
So it's the JM4 Tactical magnetic holster. So this is the meeting of two neodymium magnets, right?
Okay.
And you can carry whether you got a gun belt and like a whole bunch of shit on your belt like Batman, or if you're just rocking sweats. Like right now, I'm just rocking sweats, and this thing keeps that shit in your pants, and it's technically for a 19, I think, but it carries a 19, it carries a 43X. Whatever will fit in it, it will make it work. But the trick is that the gun itself, the back of the slide comes up here. So it sits super low as opposed to like, most holsters have their like the belt loops will stop like here or
Yeah.
something, but this goes all the way to the top. So it sits super low in your waistline, but the canted grip and the magazine sticking out that far kind of gives you a little bit more to grab onto. So it's still a super fast draw. I think my best is like just under 1.8, like just under 1.8. Not
Pretty
like
solid.
I track that or anything.
Pretty solid. So
Yeah.
you like a deep concealment. I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I'm the same way. I run a G code for my 43 with a TLR 6
Okay.
and no red dot, just iron sights.
Nice.
And it's I have the extended G code, and it's in there, man. It's pretty deep.
Nice. Yeah, it's once you kind of get used to something, plus like I'm a big dude, so like if I have, a 20 plus round 9 millimeter in my pants, like the thing better be deeper. It's gonna be like jabbing into me, and I'm gonna be like, all
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And I still got like, marks all over my ass. Like when I take it out at the end of the day, I'm like, Jesus, but it's way more comfortable, like light years beyond almost every other holster that I've gotten. For everyone out there, just like Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, hooked a homie up and went into the link in my description and used the affiliate link for Goonbeam. I also have an affiliate link for JM4 Tactical Holsters as well. So just so you
Oh
guys know.
snap! What is it like?
Mhm.
10-15% off?
Something like that.
20?
I think if you use code DARK, it's like 99% off. I'm just kidding. I
That's
don't
better
know.
than free shipping. Holy shit!
Yeah, right? No, I think it's, if you use code DARK, there is a discount or something. I can't remember right offhand, but
That's
it's
awesome.
something. Yeah.
Hey, that's how everyone supports each other. So we got to support the
Yeah.
community.
Hell yeah. Tactical girth. There you go. Yeah, I'm not a
Yeah,
big dude. I just have
that's
tactical
perfect.
girth.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
It's not, and that's another thing. When I have these trainings or host these matches or
Mhm.
go to other trainings personally, um, there everyone's of the different sizes, and you'd be
Yeah.
surprised. Bigger dudes can move, man. I there's this. I just it's either they can't move or they're just starting out or they know what they're doing. They know how to use their weight. They know when they can move, when they cannot, and they
Yeah.
know how to stop too. It's very impressive.
Yeah. I like to say, like, I'm a big dude. I'm 6 feet tall and I'm just over 250. Now recently this year, I've lost 15 pounds. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's hard.
been a lot of fucking work and
That's
and
a big
stuff.
deal.
That's actually what, so everything that's kind of brought me here, because I'm one of those like big dudes that can still move. Obviously, I don't want to, but if
But
I
if you
need
had
to,
to,
yeah, like if I need
hell
to, I
yeah.
can. I could run however fucking far. Obviously, I'll be dying. I'll be, so that's kind of what brought me to this point where, like, it's been a crazy few years for all of us, right? We're all getting through, all the bullshit that like COVID and jobs and moving and separations and like all the shit that's happened over the last few years. A lot of people have gone through like some serious shit. So like I've had a crazy few years as well. And, after like I finally came to the realization that like I need to get into as much training as possible because if God forbid something did happen, like not only do I want to be like the scariest possible dirty civilian to my government that I could possibly ever be, but I also I want to make sure that I am as competent and safe behind my tools that I can possibly be. And then I started getting into doing a lot more training, and then getting into the training, I realized, holy shit, I'm out of shape, you know? And then that's what made me commit to like, all right, if I'm gonna put all this money and time and energy into preparation and firearms and gun building and stocking, water, food, and ammo and all the shit, then really what I should put my focus on first is my physical fitness and the ability to be a badass before I only rely on tools to be a badass.
Exactly. And Daddy Flannel said it best. If you don't know who that is, Grand Thumb.
Mhm.
If you're not fit, you're gonna die. I
Yep.
mean, and fitness never stops. You're never too fit. You're never in shape. You just need to always, even like 10 minutes a day, just doing something, getting the blood flowing. Just
Yeah.
start somewhere. So for you to lose 15 pounds, Dark, that is actually accomplishment. Like you should be proud of yourself. That's a big deal. A lot of
I
people can't
appreciate
do
that.
that or don't have the willpower because that's where it is, man. You're headstrong.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It has been a lot of work, and I'm still like, it's funny now after losing some weight, I'm looking at myself, and I'm actually less happier now looking at myself down 15 pounds than I was before. But I mean, I think it's just like you set these expectations in your brain of like where you intend to be on what timeline and whatnot. But I think like the types of things that you're doing, like that's why they're so important, like to give like people like me and other people that do want to, work out, like that want to train with their kit and put some real work in. And I may not be like when I show up, and I know at some point we're gonna do a shoot,
Oh yeah,
sometime.
100%.
And like one day when I show up, I may not be where I want to be, like my intended goal, but I'm gonna be better and I'm gonna come to that shoot so I can get better and be better behind my gun and be a better dirty civilian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you familiar with the concept of the dirty civilian?
I actually I think I follow him on Instagram. I don't think I follow him on YouTube. I've watched a couple of his Instagram videos, and I it's a vibe.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool shit. It's interesting because like so the first time I heard about a dirty civilian, it was actually funny enough coming from the guy that's been banned for half of 2023 on YouTube.
But it's insane.
I know it's crazy. It was in my recommended feed on YouTube, which is hilarious, right?
They did
So
that on purpose.
I know they're like, we want him to do bad things. um, I kept seeing it and I was like, all right, what is this? Right. So I look it up and it was actually the dude who started the Dirty Civilian channel being interviewed by somebody else. So I watched the interview and I kind of hear about his outlook on the dirty civilian and what a dirty civilian should be. And basically was kind of saying for anyone out there that excuse me, for anyone out there that may not know, being in the world of gear and kit and guns and training and all that, you run into a lot of dudes that are Leo or Mill,
Yeah.
right? That are maybe seeking out training on their own, that are in law enforcement or military or whatever. They're seeking out training on their own. They're paying for it on their own, but they're seeing civilians do the same. And a lot of law enforcement or military guys when they see civilians training, a lot of them are like, you know what, that's cool. Like I'm down with that because we need more good, solid people that are well trained behind their gun and whatnot. But a lot of them really don't fucking like it. They're like these dirty civilians. So it was initially like a derogatory term that like people would be all over Reddit and all over these like groups talking about these people, these larpers like us, and referring to people like us as dirty civilians. So it was kind of like something he took on as like a badge of honor, like, oh, I'm just a dirty civilian. And the dude I think was prior military, but he's now just a civilian.
Dirty civilian.
Yeah, so he's like, dude, I'm just a dirty civilian now. And I think that concept is so cool. Not only it's not to tarnish anyone that's in law enforcement or military, like anyone out there, like you do your thing, right? But the government, right? The you guys know it's opposite day, and I always say the government loves you and wants you alive, right? So I think that may have been one of the reasons why YouTube banned me before, is because I usually say your government hates you and wants you dead. But the uh, the thing is that what they don't like, they love control, and what they don't like is to have a person or a large group of people that they can't control, that are very dangerous, that are very skilled with their equipment, and that's that's part of the being dangerous thing that we talk about. So yeah,
Oh
that's my
yeah.
little rant there.
No, you hit it. You hit it on the nail, man. And unfortunately, that is reality. There still is a small percentage of police and military that believe if you want to quote unquote LARP, why don't you join or why don't you go through the loops and then you can do it that way.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in a draft. This is not we're not we don't need
Yeah.
to do that. The people's whys are different.
Yeah.
There was a lot of differences years ago, 20 years ago, to join and to do quote unquote certain things. But some people can't. Medical conditions. Um, if you
Or
have diabetes,
age.
you can't do a lot of stuff. If your vision for some reason is not up to par, you
Yeah.
can't do certain stuff. So it's not that people didn't want to; it's that they literally can't
Yeah.
because their standards wouldn't let them. So as a civilian, you have your right in the United States to do that.
Yeah.
So that's what it's really about, man.
Could you
Just
imagine somewhere like I don't know, like just picks up, like, okay, so let's say China for an example. Could
Oh
you
my.
imagine if the Chinese government found like a field of like, well, so your night shoot coming up in what, the end of July, I think it was, the one you got with,
Saturday.
oh, this Saturday. So could you imagine if the Chinese government found that like 30 of their people were all in full kit with nods and thermal? We're shit, dude, that you can't do shit like that there. Now, still I think like somebody, actually one of the OGs from the channel back in the day, left a comment, and he said, "What is freedom?" And my response was, "I'm sorry. Freedom is currently unavailable. Please leave a message and it'll get back to you as quickly as it can." Like,
Wow.
we
Yeah.
can get as close as we can to freedom, but yeah,
It's
not true freedom.
freedom is a fallacy, unfortunately, in the United States. It's an illusion.
Yep,
It really is. When you
100%.
look at it, it really is. At least today.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's say you know what? Using your night shoots as an example, let's say you're like, you know what? I want to buy my own place, buy my own land, and I want to run a training facility, and I want to do 4, 6, 8 shoots a month, whatever it is, right? And let's say you buy it cash, and let's say you build it up to be like this beautiful, like, heaven of self-sufficiency, and you got water, food, you got livestock, you got, training range and all this shit. If you own everything, and if you don't pay your real estate tax, what happens? What happens to your
Yeah.
property? Right? The government will take that shit,
Gone.
right? If
Gone.
you are running a business, right, and you don't pay taxes on that income, like what happens? We all know, like, in the end, we you can be free up here, but they're going to be like you said, there's going to be a lot of limitations. It's not true freedom. Not to like black pill anyone out there. I'm just saying,
No, 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 not at all.
you
And
know.
it's sad. It really is.
Respect most officers and know that constitutional laws must be enforced, but Leo are civilians in my book. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
They're
they
yeah,
are.
they're civilians with extra hardware. That's all it is.
Yeah, yeah,
They honestly, I think they're it's more tough for them now. It goes in stints. They're looked
yeah,
more upon. They're held to a higher standard. If anything, they have less freedom than citizens do. Even off duty, they're held to a different standard.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I never. I think a lot of people come in and they kind of get the wrong idea, and they're like, oh, Dark is a bootlicker, and he loves cops and shit like that. I don't think there's this like black and white line of, well, if you believe in natural rights and you believe in the Constitution enforcing, you know m- holding the government accountable to us exercising our natural rights, that you can't have respect for law enforcement. Now, not all law enforcement is on board with our natural rights, right? But it doesn't mean that we can't be, like I always say, be kind, right? Be caring, be compassionate and shit like that.
Exactly. In every line of work, no matter where you go, every hobby, every line of work, every industry, there's always a percentage of people that are, I guess, bad. I guess that's just the term they use. They're bad. They're not for.
Yeah.
They don't do their job to what they should.
Yeah,
So
like
the
even
percentage everywhere.
yeah, even teachers, priests
Yeah,
for that matter.
coaches, teachers.
Yeah. Or another thing for everyone out there, we got almost 60 people in here still. How about this? On Instagram, user slim.gym1920, who is an open pedo, posting pictures of babies saying how he wants to fuck them to death. And Instagram refusing to take down his ish, saying that we're sorry, that does not break any of our terms of service or community guidelines. So if any of you guys have a few extra minutes tonight and want to go to Instagram and look up user slim.gym1920, pay him a little visit, and you'll be surprised when people comment on his pictures of infants, like sub 1 year old infants, and he's talking about the terrible things that he's talking about. And look, I'm all for free speech, right? But people like that are dangerous, and that's what wood chippers
I think
are for.
there's definitely mental problems,
Yeah.
maybe even more. Yeah, stuff like that. It just goes to show how our society is nowadays and what's accepted, and how they're trying to categorize it and label it as something that should be accepted. I'm not even going to
Yeah.
give them the term. I know what the term is. I'm not even going to put it out there.
Hmm.
And it's sickening. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. And I can't believe, well, I can believe that that's happening,
Yeah.
honestly.
So that was going to be one of my other questions, and it's a lot to unpack. But like, what are your thoughts on the world and the country right now, and let's say the past few years? Obviously, everything that's been going on has been going on for well more than the past few years. But what's your kind of outlook on everything now? How it seems?
Um, I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm
Hmm.
not Green Party or nothing. Um, I'm more of like pick away from everything.
Hmm.
Our country is definitely not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Way before we were alive is probably when it was what it should be. And a lot of illusions, like look at this hand, why this does this over here, goes on. A lot of lies, a lot of misdirection. Our country is not what it used to be, and the people need to stick together. If
Yeah.
not, we're just going to keep falling apart. That's what they want. They want distress because that's how they gain control. Um,
Yeah.
they, yeah, they as in the government, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it may have even been going on well before. I think it's crazy. I don't. We don't need to get too deep into it, but some would say that it's been happening um, since we veered away from bartering and got into the existence of money, the concept of money outside of like bartering true value.
I can see that because back in the day, money was supposed to be like a promise
Hmm.
for tangible, not paper. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
this is a promise. I'll give you gold on so and so date or something, and then it turns into paper actually has value. So
Yeah.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Um, I'm all for going into like old history and old politics and stuff. We can do that on a different podcast if you want, like a different
Yeah.
episode. We can
Yeah.
just
For
hammer it
sure.
out and
Yeah.
dive deep.
Yeah. For sure.
Blue pill
Uh,
or red pill?
yeah. Right. Yeah. Sometimes it's easy to take the black pill. That's why I always say, like, I know I say it all the time. It may seem cheesy, but I tell all you guys, there's so much bad, negative, like nihilistic. Just everything seems really negative at times when you really dive deeply in everything going on. So sometimes, like, you don't want to take the black pill. Just kind of hold it in your hand, put it in your pocket, like visit it every now and then. But it can get really like you could feel like you're in the depths of despair if you really take too much of a deep look at where we're at. I mean, be aware, prepare always, but you don't have to spend all your time there, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Just be aware. Be aware of what's going on. Be aware of your surroundings, and it's just most importantly for yourself and your family, honestly. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, if you don't have friends or family, you don't have anybody. The government's not going to help you really.
Yep.
The government's not going to come and support you. So you need to keep those ones closest and be on the lookout and aware of what's going on for yourself and your family.
Yep.
If you can't handle it, don't go deep into it. Like Dark said, definitely just be aware.
Yep. So, to shift topics a little bit, are you into like long range shooting at all?
I'm getting into it. I want to so bad. The furthest I've ever shot is 200 yards, and that was
Nice.
cool. That was fun. And then I might be doing a mile shot here soon, next September.
A
I think I'm gonna
mile
go.
shot,
Yeah, yeah, big jump, 200 yards to a mile. Um,
like an actual mile.
Probably not. I probably won't.
I mean, shit. I think it's possible,
I'll probably 1,000 yards. I'll probably do 1,000 first because
dude.
there's
That
a
would
lot
be
of stuff
badass.
into it. I contacted a couple guys and I was like, give me a rundown. And after like the sixth paragraph, I was like, all right, we're just gonna have to crawl and then walk
Yeah.
and then run because there was just so much into it. I was like, this is amazing. It's a whole nother rabbit hole that I'm gonna get into.
Yeah,
Do you shoot long range?
no, well, not really. I mean, I don't currently have, and this is gonna sound bad, I don't currently have any true long range firearms currently. I have a couple things that could reach out, the 4 to 600 easily, consistently. But beyond that, I'm kind of short. My last like long range, I had a Remington 700 that I sold like years and years back when I didn't understand the value of keeping all of your guns. Guys, keep your guns. M- Uh, you know, fuck money. You can go get money anywhere, anytime, any other place. It's in abundance, but you can't always, go get a gun again, right? So that's something I do want to get into. I got buddies that we'll call them my boog boys, my guys that are like my go-to. Like if shit went down, like all of our comms are
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Grab the walkies, go to your point.
yeah, yeah, those are my guys. And one of them has this gun room that is like, so in his basement he took a moderately sized area. It's probably like 8 feet by like 12 feet or so. And he built, he took like cinder bricks and cinder blocks and rebar and cement and built a wall and then drywalled over it and then installed one of those Liberty door safes in it. So it's like
Ooh,
a walk in like gun safe, and he's got a Barrett on the wall, an MRAD and 338 Lapua, both with crazy ass Night Force scopes and a whole bunch of other long range shit that like at the time that I was shooting those, I had I had very little idea like you know like the capabilities of that equipment is just insane, and I didn't even realize. And just like to the same thing you were talking about when I was discussing things with some of these guys, I'm like, all right, so what kind of things do you take into consideration when you're setting up for a shot? And once they got to like humidity and like weather and
yeah,
the fucking moon, I'm like, bro, all right, this is this is too
yeah.
much for me. I just
Gravitational pull.
Yeah, I'm like,
What?
this is too much. The curve of the earth, fuck this,
Yeah,
dude. I'm done. Like,
yeah. For so many meters, you have to worry about the curve and the elevation. I was like, huh? I
yeah,
was like, math is tough. Come
like
on, man.
you actually carry a pencil and paper and shit. Like, Jesus Christ, it's
They have
crazy.
they have like dope sheets, whatever that acronym stands for,
Yeah,
of like their yardage and what their elevation and adjustments need. And it's like a clip that they clip right on top of their right beside their optic.
yeah,
So when they're there, they can just like peek out of one eye and adjust real quick and then take a shot. And I was like, huh, that's
yeah,
smart.
yeah. That's way further than I've ever ventured to. I mean, I'm aware of the dope, but yeah, never been
No, me
that deep
either.
into it.
But I definitely want to get into it. So hopefully next year, I'm probably going to get a 6.5. Yes, I'm going to be
Nice.
that guy. It's going to be a 6.5 bolt gun.
That's all
I'm going
right.
to put a 30. I'm going to put a 30 cal can on it,
Nice.
and I don't know what optic yet. There's so many out there, so I'm going to
Yeah.
try a bunch from a bunch of different people and see which one I'm comfortable with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got so many options for optics. It's crazy. And I swear like every few months that pass by, you not only have more things from the companies that are already cranking shit out that are really like more available and even better priced, but you have more companies kind of coming into the space too. So it's like even primary arms, dude. Some people shit on primary arms, but dude, I've never had a primary arms optic go down. I've had optics go down, never primary arms.
Really,
Yeah, they've
even like
been
a
solid.
simple red dot on a rifle or anything.
Yeah, yeah. I've had half a dozen of the Aimpoint T1 clones that they've got, and
Okay.
Never had one go down. Now granted, I haven't beat the piss out of all of them equally, right? Like some of them were on a couple of my like go-to guns. Um, the most recent, so I had one of the primary arms. It's the microdot, which is like the Aimpoint T1 micro clone on my 10-3 AR pistol.
Okay.
Binary trigger can. It's like it's fucking awesome. I love it. But I took that off and I ended up putting on the primary arms prismatic 1X Cyclops, or I think it's a Cyclops. That thing is awesome. It's got the ACSS reticle. You can range find with it, within reason.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Is it like a V? Is that what the reticle is?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And it's like, dude, for sub $300 to have a true 1X, not like you get like a Holosun and it's like, this is a 1X. Like, no, really, this is like a true 1X. Run it with
Really?
both eyes open, and it gives you a real advantage. But also, if you need to push it out a little bit, you can it's set to range find a target to where you can measure the silhouette, the torso of a man, and then just gauge your drop out based on the distance of the target. It's pretty crazy.
No shit.
I
Recommend.
recommend
I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
Tibosaurus Rex Sniper Series YouTube. You
I'm
know what?
gonna. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I heard
Sorry.
somebody mention. No, you're good. You're good. I always say interrupting is part of the like beauty of DLD After Dark. We always accidentally interrupt each other. It's okay.
That's crazy. It's the first thing that popped up when you search it.
Oh, really?
That's amazing. Okay. Got
Thank
it.
you, Wild Weasel. I appreciate
Appreciate it.
the super
Definitely.
chat as well. Craig, good to see you too. Another channel member.
Likewise.
He says prisms all day. I really want a 338 for my next long gun, but nowhere around here to shoot that far. So we got a range it's in West Virginia. Um, it's named after the highway that it's on in West Virginia, and they have 1,000-yard range, but you actually have to qualify with an RSO before they let you shoot on it. And then I think they have like something like crazy, like a 2,000-yard range that you also
Whoa.
need to qualify on. Yeah, it's nuts, man.
The range that I'm gonna go to, I think that's how they kind of like walk you to it, and you have
Yeah.
to hit three. You have to have 3 out of 5 hits to even shoot at the 1,000. So
Wow.
you like walk from 100, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it goes to 8, and then 1,000.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't picture. I mean, I guess a lot of what I've been focusing on is, you know, I guess I usually call it like yelling distance, so 100 yards and in.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it's good to know that you can reach out further. Now, typically, reaching out beyond 4, 6, 800 yards is usually just murder, but
Yeah,
it's good to know
100%.
you can do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I usually focus, like you say, the 25 to 100 yards.
Yeah.
100 yards is just, it's so cool, especially at night to have that laser
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just 100 to 150 yards and you just have it just non-passive, just aiming, and you just hear ting, ting. It's just so cool to see
Dude,
that
I
laser.
can't wait. I cannot wait until I
It's
get
so
my
fun.
set up, man.
I literally feel like a cracked out Batman when I have night vision. Like, it's a superpower. It really is.
Yeah, that's what every single person that's got nods. Like I've worn them before, but I've never never owned night vision. Hey, Frag Out Designs, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Um, but yeah, every single person I've kind of been talked into it over the course of a few years, and everyone's like, it's a superpower. It's a
It
superpower.
is.
Plus, your government does not want you to have guys. Your government doesn't want you to have full power lasers. Okay.
No, not at all. And it's very hard. You can obtain them. And to be clear, secondary buying a full power laser, you will not go to prison for it. You will not get in trouble.
Yeah.
What happens is when you buy that from Joe Schmo, you buy a full power laser, you cannot send it off now to get it maintenance. That's all you lose. But if for some reason police pull you over and run the serial number and it pops up to a department or that person, they can't arrest you for it. They're not going to arrest you for it. They're just going to see if it's stolen or not. As long as that person that you buy it from or get it from doesn't report it stolen, you're fine. Just like anything else, at least in my state.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. It's, you know, I think most law enforcement aren't even really aware. Some may be, you
I
know.
got stopped. Funny story. I got stopped by a state trooper. I was heading to the range. I was going a couple counties away, and I had suppressors. I had 3 suppressors. I had flashbangs. I had night vision. I had camo pants on. I had multicam black camo pants on. So to him, I guess I looked intimidating or interesting, is what he called it.
Yeah.
And he pulled me out of the vehicle. He's like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Well, first, why'd you stop me?" And he's like, "Speeding." I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one." He goes, "Why do you have all this stuff?" I was like, "Because I can." He's like, "Is any of it stolen?" I was like, "No." He's like, "I'm gonna run all the numbers." I was like, "That's fine." I was like,
Run
"Just
them.
don't break." I was like, "Just don't break the night vision." He goes, "Night vision?" Like he literally looked at me and goes, "Night vision?" I was like, "Yes, in that bag is $12,000 worth of stuff. Please do not break it. I understand you will reimburse me, but it will take months or years. I need that tonight. Do not
Yeah.
break it." And he goes, "Open it." I was like, "I don't consent to search and seizures, but just so you don't break it, I'll open it for you." So I
Yeah.
opened it, and he was like, just stared at it like it was something brand new. Um, a 45-minute traffic stop. I got a warning on my way.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times similar things has happened to me. It's crazy. Like
Yeah,
they can't fathom that somebody that's not in law enforcement, some, people can't fathom that somebody that's not in law enforcement or military, they think that, oh, well, these things are only used for whatever fantasy land over here, like raids or whatever. It's the same concept as like people call them gun grabbers, right? Like people that are against our natural rights to, keep and bear arms, saying you only need a silencer if you're an assassin. Like, what?
yeah. The
It's,
ratio of killings or shootings that have happened with suppressors. I think the most
mm-hmm.
recent one was in New York a handful of years ago, and it was a bunch of cartel guys that had flashlights, the mag lights
Yeah,
converted into silencers,
yeah,
and they never found the guys. They burnt the Jeep. Um,
that's
it's
crazy.
rare. It's very, very rare.
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they got those mag lights during Operation Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
you know,
Yeah, 100%.
that's what our government is up to. But I know we're just past midnight, and you got stuff to do in the morning. Before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to share with the viewers, or any dad advice, or anything at all you can think of?
If you can, get night vision, get plates, train, and fitness. Those are definitely fitness is like priority. I would focus on those. Um, you can find me at Specter Solutions LLC on Instagram.
Mm,
YouTube is Specter Solutions. Um, I don't really do any type of training post. I do host level 1 introductory for low light and no light training. Every so often, a group of people get a hold of me, but I focus on the matches. Um,
nice.
I'm all about community, pushing good vibes, knowledge transfers, and just helping people out. You got to have a
Hell yeah.
positive in this community because there's so much negatives going on.
Yeah.
And I'm honored to be on this DLD After Dark. Thank you, Dark, for
Hell yeah.
reaching out and inviting me, man.
Yeah, dude.
This is amazing, and the side chat is crazy. I
Yeah.
took a couple minutes to like scroll through the. I wasn't keeping up. There's no
It's
way.
hard. It's hard to
It's a
keep
good
up.
problem to have, though. It's a good
Yeah.
problem.
Dude, I'm telling you, these are the most witty, creative, and funny people I have ever, like, I could not ask for a better fucking community than the one that is in here. Like, these guys are incredible. And the speed at which they troll and comment and make fun, it's so funny because
Oh
there's
yeah,
already a 7-second delay when they click send. So like
oh
the
there
speed,
is.
yeah. So these
What?
dudes are like "Brrr," and
No
then
way.
yeah,
That's
like
impressive.
they're awesome, man. They're
That is
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, and that's
But
part,
hey,
and you got people like Kurt that are dropping your Instagram
which is
and
thank you.
your YouTube and all that, man. Kurt, you're the man.
I'm
Kurt, you're modded, right, Kurt? I just want to make sure I
I'm
don't.
I'm slacking on the YouTube. So if you guys subscribe, I'm sorry. Busy, life happens. I'm
That's
getting
all.
more into it. I'm eventually gonna have at least 1 or 2 videos a month uploaded.
Nice.
Instagram, I'm more active. I just have a lot going on with that one for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's Instagram for some reason likes me.
You know what you
If
can do if sorry to cut you off, just a quick thought.
oh you're good.
You know what you could do is when you do a night shoot, just try to get, and I know you kind of did something like this on Instagram too, so I may be telling you to do something you're already doing, but like just get some footage from it, right? Kind of compile it together, put some dope music behind it, and boom, you got a YouTube video that would crush, man. It would do really well.
I did, and
Nice.
look, I got a copyright strike, but I'm not monetized, so I'm not taking it down.
What was it for? Was it for the music?
Yeah, but it was from Epidemic or Epidemic Sound or whatever, and like I don't know. YouTube, like
That's
you
weird.
said, is weird to us, which it is what it is, man. It's all fun. That's why I'm on YouTube. It's fun. It's
Yeah,
great to meet people, interact with people, and kind of give to your supporters in a way. When I live stream, I like doing that too. It's pretty cool.
nice. Hell yeah.
And I don't know if you do giveaways. Do you do giveaways on your live streams?
Yeah, sometimes. Usually what I do when I keep up with it is so after the live stream ends, it gets posted to my channel as a hard video, and I'll actually take there's a something called a random comment generator, and you can actually run my viewers' comments and it'll pick a winner, or we'll do like a random number generator or something like that, and we'll do giveaways like that. So yeah, sometimes.
Do you want to do a giveaway now?
Sure.
All
What do
right,
you got?
hold on.
Oh, snap. There's a lot of diverse knowledge in this group. Absolutely. Fire Rodder, 100%. They stopped making them in 2002, I think. Oh, what are we talking about? Well, John, parts are still quite available in the aftermarket. It's very hard, however, to find a clean stock or mosty stock one. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. I know I'm super behind. And no, I did not show Skylar the pillow, but I think Flying Rich left anyway. It's my, if you guys don't know my, just real quick, Specter.
Oh,
If
you're
you
good.
if you guys don't know, my hoodie is the first, it's a picture of the first ATF agent that was killed at Waco. And it's just printed all over the hoodie, and it's got like multicolors. So like you can rock a good start at any time you want. It's so bad. And then I also have the pillow, which is the same image, but on the inverse, on the other side, it's got the ATF agent in a star, and it's like shrunk down, so it kind of just looks like a monogram pillow. But if
Oh
you look
my.
close, you can see that it's a dead ATF agent. And because all of you guys, oh my god, Dark has forsaken us by not printing the Waco banners. Okay, so here's the deal.
Oh my.
Um because all of you guys have asked for it so much, more than anything else, I will make a store that is like specifically an FTATF store, and it will be with this image. Okay. So Detective John Kimball said the first night that I introduced this, he said, Dark, you have to sell it. Allah wills it. So I'll do that. So okay. But anyway, sorry, the floor is yours.
So we'll do the giveaway. I'll
Okay.
leave it up to you to like pick the winner and stuff. But the new patch
Ooh, nice. Let
and a
me
sticker.
let me put you on a solo here. Dang. Hey, that patch is dope. Sticker looks
What
great too.
What's really cool about it, the back of it, if you peel off that white part, it's an adhesive. So if you don't have like a Velcro backing wall, you can put that adhesive on anything, and then you have a female side Velcro anywhere. And
Nice.
it's waterproof. These were made locally in Ohio.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm all about supporting small local businesses. So yeah,
Dude, that's awesome. So then let's do this. We'll do the first one. So hang on one second. We'll do
we probably should announce
random.
this earlier so a lot of people had the chance. Hopefully, there's enough people in here.
Yeah, there's still like 50 something people in here. So we'll do this. We'll do because there's still 50 something people in here. Okay, so I am going to screen share this so you guys know that I'm being earnest about it. Random number generator. Okay, so you guys should be able to see the random number generator. Okay, so I haven't run it yet, so don't start typing in the number 9. Okay, that's a sample number. So what I'm gonna
Start
do,
spamming it.
yeah, right. What I'm gonna do is you guys, the first one will be for the sticker, then the second one will be for the patch. Okay, now Specter, you're gonna be responsible for mailing it out though. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, 100%. You just
Okay.
tell me where it goes, and I'll get it out the same day.
All right, cool. So the first one will be for the sticker, then the last one will be for the patch, and you guys enter one number. Okay, don't go entering every number. Okay, enter one number, 1 through 40, and enter it in 10 seconds. Okay, so on the count of 10, pick your one number, 1 through 40. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what? I think I gotta wait a second because they're gonna be at a delay.
There's a delay. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me see. I'm gonna wait because that anybody could have just typed it in and been like, I have a 7 second delay. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 69. Okay, I think we got enough entries. Okay, hang tight. All right, I'm gonna spin it now. Ready? Boom. Okay, we got number 13 for the sticker. So let me go back. It'll be the first 13 shown. Okay, so we got 24, 14, 21, 27, 7, 69.
This
It doesn't apply.
this is a cool
15,
way to do it.
66. Yeah, it's fun and it's honest and open and simple. 36, 15, 21, 40.
Did no one guess
22.
13?
No, no one guessed 13. Testing said 1 through 40. That's great. All right,
Well,
so we'll do it again. And oh, I think somebody did enter a 7 in the beginning. Craig was the first one that submitted 7. So
congratulations.
congratulations, Craig. You won the Ghosty sticker. And that ghost has an AR in his hands, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's actually my personal.
Oh, dude, that's so dope.
It's got the Lead and Steel LP1. I put that on there as well.
Nice.
Yeah, look at it.
Craig, he says, woohoo. All right, so Craig, so now your responsibility is to go to Instagram and contact Spectre Solutions for the you send them an instant message and you guys will set up your own thing to get that. Now, at some point I'll need to make sure I get a sticker from you because I have a whole project over here that my viewers don't even know about. And guys, stick around because we're about to give away the patch too. I have a huge sticker bombing project and I want to get like all the coolest stickers in the world on
I'll send you
yeah.
I'll send you a sticker pack. There's some stickers that weren't never released. I'll tell you why in the back chat. but there's some stickers in there that I just can't sell or do anything with. So
Nice.
I'll just give some to you, and then some previous stickers as well.
And I'll
So
send some of my stickers, some of the FTATF stickers and all that, which hasn't got me in trouble yet, but I'm sure it will soon. So now we'll run it for the patch. So I bet we could probably use the same numbers, guys. Yeah, I'm going to use the same numbers first. Let's see what happens. Boop. Okay, 22.
22.
Let's see if anyone got a 22. Okay, so we got 24, 14, 21. Agorizer so close. 27, 7, 69, 15, 33, 66, 88. Corn pop.
Yo, that's
Oh
crazy.
my god. 20, 14, 4, 14, 36, 15, 21, 40, 21, 27. Oh, 7. Hey, Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, my
Let's
man.
go.
There you go. You just won the patch. So Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, congratulations. Make sure you hit up Specter Solutions on Instagram, and you guys can work out the last part. I appreciate you doing that, man. That's awesome.
Not a problem. Yeah, definitely.
And I also, hey Rusty, good to see you, bro. Fluffy is 22. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you. I also should have had. I also have a couple packages I still got to send out to Come Out in PLA and to Kurt24 for stuff that they won before my ban, and then I just forgot to send it out after that. So
shit happens,
sorry
man.
about that.
It
I
really
know, man.
does.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
If you guys are local in Ohio, I'm gonna host these night matches once, sometimes twice a month. When the starts getting later in the year, the sun goes down pretty quick. Instead of at 9 o'clock, it goes down around like 6. So that's when I'm gonna start having like 2 a month instead of just one. A lot of big things are happening. A lot of people are reaching out. Big names of companies that are gonna start sponsoring it and having like giveaways for like best time on a stage or stuff. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming out. If you're local to Ohio or in the area, I post a lot about it. We're at in Ohio, Crawford County.
Nice.
It's called Crawford County Sportsman Club. 70 acres, and a little bit of that is used as the range. And they also and they also allow camping. So if we've had people from Kentucky come up, Indiana, Pennsylvania. That you can stay the night. You can hook up for an RV, or you can just pitch a tent. I think it's like $25 or something. Nothing crazy, and you'll pay cash there to one of the board members, not me. So
hell yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of cool stuff happening.
So if you guys go out there, you can pitch a tent and hook up.
Yep, because they do end pretty. Like the most recent one ended at 2 a.m. and some people had to drive 3 or 4 hours. And one guy was like, "Can I just stay here?" I was like, "Yeah, you can stay here. Go talk to that guy over there." And yeah.
So for the guys out there that are thinking like this, Ron Bayer, good to see you, bro. I wish I had nods. And yes, doing a nod nature walk would be dope. It's especially important when you need to figure out how far away stuff is when you're wearing nods and how
depth perception does change.
Yeah, for sure. But Spectre Solutions also does no light, white light shoots as well, right?
Correct. Yeah, I should have said this. There's 2 different squads. So you have white light squads and night vision squads. You can kind of merge them. So if your buddy doesn't have nods and you do, you guys can go in the white light squad or the night vision squad. I don't really discriminate. I just don't want a bunch of white light in the night vision squad. It's just that's defeats the point. I mean, there's a point in time when they use white light, but that's for another day. So there's 2 different squads. So that way you can come and run your white light. But eventually, potentially this next one, maybe in 2 matches, there's going to be demos and maybe rentals. So if you show up and you're like, I want to do night vision, and I'm like, okay, go talk to this person. You pay a fee, which is probably like an insurance fee, and you can run and try before you buy, in a sense. So if instead of shelling out thousands of dollars, and you'd be like, wow, I wish I knew about this tube before I bought it because it's kind of dog water. You can kind of try it. You can be like, hey, green phos looks pretty trashy to me. I like white better for my eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you know what to buy.
Yeah. So people are asking, what is the closest big city? Near what
Um,
city in Ohio? I don't know if you want to answer that privately or.
so Columbus is like is like the capital of Ohio. It's about an hour north, hour and a half north of Columbus.
Okay. All right. And 717 asks about how far is that from the fairgrounds?
I am not from Crawford County or in the area, so I don't know that question.
Okay.
Crawford County, I don't think is that big, so I know the range itself is kind of in the boonies, so probably on the outskirts.
Gort says Kurt 24 in between Cleveland and Columbus. And Craig, who won the sticker, said, "Glad I made it to the stream tonight. I was having a shit day until now. Hell yeah, man!
Happy to hear that, man. That's what it's about.
That's awesome." And remember, it's Specter with an ER, Specter Solutions. So when you're looking them up, make sure you use Specter with an ER
Yeah,
on Instagram and YouTube. And yeah, remember his advice, right? Get night vision, get get plates, get get gear, get good with your gear, practice, train, and just become, the best version of you. Learn something every day. He was telling me earlier before we got on, he was like, dude, I learned something about night vision every day. So,
every day. You can learn something from anybody. I learned
yeah.
something from Dark today. So,
Did you?
yeah,
What was it? What were we talking
uh,
about?
night vision or not night vision, long range.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's why one of the things I say I should implement this in my rules. I close with my rules every time, but keeping the heart of a student, right? You
Yes,
keep the heart of a student, and you'll always learn something from anybody.
always a learner, always a student.
Always.
Even if you go to a training or a class or a seminar or something, even if it's bad, you know what not to do.
Yeah.
If it's good, you can get a takeaway. There's always something you can learn, no matter what.
Yep. And honestly, a lot of like trainings that I do where I'm training behind a gun, I usually just do basic rifle courses all over the place because really all super high speed shit is just a higher level of the basics. There's really nothing beyond. It's not some crazy elevated supernatural shit. It's just mastering the basics.
Exactly. Yeah.
So cool. Well, I
Yep.
appreciate that, man, dude. And thank you for coming on. It's been cool as shit to have you on and kind of learn more about what you're doing. I would
Thanks for
love,
having me.
yeah, man, it's a pleasure. Pleasure's all mine. And I'd love to come out and do a shoot someday. Even if I don't have my nods yet, I'll make sure to come out and I'll sport my dry Wilcox mount.
If if somehow, some way, if you when you make it out and you still don't have nods, I will facilitate a pair of binos for you.
Yes. And I'll make
I'll
sure I bring my
I'll
IR
make sure it
laser.
happens.
Dude, that's awesome. I appreciate that. And in closing, guys, make sure you go show some love to Spectre Solutions. Go on his Instagram, go on his YouTube channel, show him some love. Go watch his stuff, go follow, subscribe, all that, and give him a like bomb. Right? If he sees you go on his Instagram page and follow him and like 10 of his pictures, he's gonna know that you came from my show. So show him some love. Um, and with that, we'll go ahead and close out with the rules. Okay. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for hanging out. It's crazy that like I just had Clinton from Classic Firearms on, and there's like 15,800 watch minutes from like 400 views. You guys actually come and you stay like the whole time. It's insane. I love that you guys do that, man. I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you for that. And thank you for just staying committed to me, even after I was gone from YouTube for 46 days and 9 hours. So thank you for that. But as for the rules, as we close out, remember rule number one is to be kind, right? It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So always be kind. Or as Clint said, don't be a dick. with classic firearms. Also, rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed. A hand that's open to give is open to receive. So that's how we all should live life. And rule number 3, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence, make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, we're out. Specter Solutions again. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you coming on.
Peace.
Bravo 6.
Going
Going dark.